Hi guys, Chris and PJ here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
Christopher, beautiful, wonderful day today.
Beautiful day in Florida and a wonderful day for one person from Wisconsin and one person from Texas.
That's right.
And not just any random person. Well, actually it is one random person, isn't it?
It's two random people.
It's two random people. Clayton K of Wisconsin, our second Wisconsin winner, and Shannon E, big shout out to him, 24-year veteran of the Marines. So thank you so much for your service, Shannon. Each of them won one of the Indy Camaros and a trip to the Indy 500. That was so great to speak to both of them today. Couple corrections. One, I said during the live video, great state of Florida. He's in the great state of Texas. And we're asking, what did the first winner win in Wisconsin previously? The Hurstolds.
Oh, that's right, the Hurstolds, not the
1969 Hurstolds. So congrats to these guys. You'll get to meet them and the Miata winner here live if you're here with us on April 21st in the Dream Giveaway Garage, or you'll watch the video and you'll see them. Then we've already spoken to Clayton K of Wisconsin, and he's going to drive his Camaro home, and he's pretty sure he's going to take the white one, not the gray one. And I told someone here in the Dream Giveaway Garage, he goes, first winner took the white one, huh? He didn't believe it. I said, it's true, because he thought that the shadow gray one would be the first one, would be the one picked by winner number one. So just goes to show you never know which one somebody wants to win, but congratulations to both of those guys. PJ, where were you on December 5th, 1989?
Well, I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know, December 5th, yeah, around Christmas time, I don't know, probably hibernating up in New England.
Well, the reason that I mention that is that December 5th, 1989 was 26 days before the end of the 80s. Right?
Good one.
And if you look over here at our 80s Dream Giveaway, wow, what a coincidence. 26 days left in our 80s Dream Giveaway.
Oh, Chris, that was a good one.
Yeah, and thank you for that, PJ. And we're going to go spend some time with that Monte Carlo. We're going to take another look at those Indy Camaros. Guys, you need to show a lot of love to this one. Where else on planet Earth are you going to find a 87 Monte Carlo SS with 620 original miles? So it says 600, 620, close enough, right?
Right, and to be honest with you, we certainly appreciate people like Roger right now who's saying congratulations to both Clayton and Shannon, and thank you so much for chiming in during those lives.
That's
when
right.
We do that.
And it's a Facebook Live winner.
That's right.
Clayton used the promo code that we give you guys every day, Facebook Live.
Was it Clayton or Shannon?
Clayton.
Clayton was the one who used Facebook. No, I think it was Shannon. Shannon was the one that said
you're
he
right.
was used to.
Shannon was the one who used promo code Facebook Live. So Shannon watches our videos just like you guys are watching now. And that tells you that you're doing the right thing when you watch these videos and you're using those promo codes. One of you won. So Shannon, if you're watching, congratulations to you.
Yeah, well, congratulations to both of them, but
both
pretty
of them.
awesome that someone would use Facebook Live promo code and win.
That's right. Let's walk on over there toward the Monte Carlo and the Camaro, shall we?
All right. Joseph says he was a wild child in the 80s. And I think you were too, Chris.
I must have known you. Yeah.
All right, so right next to the two Camaros
Right
here.
next to the two Camaros.
I think we still have our lights up here.
Yeah, we still have the light on from the call table right there.
I'll almost give you a sneak peek, but we didn't want to go into that just yet.
620 miles. Hoses look all original to me. You're like, what do you mean you didn't change the hoses? It's got 620 miles on it. If you're going to put miles on it, you're welcome to change the hoses. But since they are original, we're not going to change them. Okay? The one thing that we did change, and it was for safety, were the tires. Because those tires had been sitting in on a museum floor for decades and decades. And you guys ever hear the term, what do they call it? Flat spot?
Those won't have a flat spot.
Those won't, no. So we put the exact same size that's on there. Before I get in here, why don't you guys virtually, through the power of technology, take a look in there?
Chris, this
It is so mint.
this is velour kind of a
It is so
thing.
mint.
It
You
is
know what?
mint. You're right.
And we laugh about it. You know, we were back and forth on, do we change the original headliner or don't we? So we didn't. And the winner's going to get the original headliner. And here's what it came down to on the headliner. It's original. And if we're saying it's only original once, we're not changing anything on it, right? But we had to the tires.
Right.
Everything.
Well,
just like the factory made it.
Well, we had a gentleman today say that once he realized after he ordered the tickets for this,
He didn't want it because he wanted someone he could drive around.
well, he's now afraid of it. He was really looking for a daily driver.
You can drive it around just like it's a brand new.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to
He
be the
didn't
one
put the
putting all
miles
the
on.
miles
I get
on
that
it.
too.
He says this
Okay.
is more of a trailer queen.
Come on in here. Come on in here and let me show you all the cool technology that the 80s brought us. Please don't mention Debbie Harry. Hey, power windows,
Look at that.
power locks.
Switch.
Right? Here's that remote mirror, PJ. Here, see how I'm doing it down here? That's so cool. And over here, you've got cruise control. You've got a tilt wheel. You've got that beautiful mint SS emblem right there on the sports steering
That's the horn
wheel.
sound.
Original keys. Can tell because it's got that GM right in there, right? Mm-hmm. And 4-speed automatic right here. You know, not even the console or the dash has any cracks in it because this was stored in a private collection or in a museum.
And we've got a beautiful cassette tape.
Oh, yeah. And who sent that to us? Remind me again. Larry, are you the one who sent us this?
Yeah.
Okay, if I got that wrong, then shame on me. But remember, this is so cool. We're going to include this to the grand prize winner as well. And if I reach all the way over here, oh, that's empty. That's okay. And if I reach all the way over here, that's empty. But that's okay. That means that it's minty clean for you guys here.
So, Chris, tell me about this car in the 80s. What was the market like? What was
You've got to
happening?
remember that. Remember, coming off of the end of the Bandit era, which really ended in about 81, and then in 82, things started changing there in the domestic car market, right? And then the Ford came out with that Fox body GT350 in about 86. But meanwhile, over at General Motors, the Buick Grand National was coming out, the Monte Carlo SS. They sold hundreds of thousands of these. You guys saw them everywhere in the 80s. And hardly anybody thought, well, that's going to be a collector's item someday, and kept one with the super low miles of this one. The other car in the 80s that people talk about a whole lot is the IROC Z Camaro, right?
Right.
So that was super popular in the 80s as well. What was I driving in the 80s?
Talk about horsepower for a quick second.
Let's not talk about horsepower.
Because
for
someone
a quick-
just reached out to us and said, why would I buy a car with that low of horsepower? I'm like, but I don't think they understand what was going on in the industry at the time.
Yeah. So if you didn't grow up in that era, this is what the 80s brought you for horsepower.
Because they're saying, hey, I can go back in the 60s and get a much higher horsepower vehicle.
You could. However, it's even harder to find a vehicle with 600 miles on it from the 60s. That might cost you $250,000, right? Or even more. From the 80s, at least, people had enough extra cash that they were putting these cars away and collecting them. Think about what was the first car that people thought would be a future collectible and put away. What are you guys' thoughts on that? For me, I would say the 1978 25th anniversary Corvette, right? Because there's still so many low-mile ones out there. So everybody, when they saw that come out, to me, that's really the first time that people started saying, this is going to be a collector's item. Prior to that, people bought cars to run them. Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you guys think?
I would have to say, if you're going to come out with something special, limited edition, 25 years,
Yeah.
you're already bringing the fact that it could be a limited edition and a collectible item.
That's right. And look here. Look at here. Engine starting instructions right here on the sun visor. Okay, PJ, let's see if we can follow the instructions.
This isn't a crank in the
To
front.
start engine, it is important to use following procedure. Apply parking brake. Well, I never do that. Automatic transmission. Place shift lever in P. There it is.
Funny. Well,
Okay.
Larry West says, thanks Nader Raiders. Because I'm sure Ralph Nader and everything that...
Oh, they ruined everything, didn't they? They got all of the fun cars off of the road, but not for long because Dodge is back with all sorts of cool stuff now. But back to the Monte Carlo. You only have 26 days left, and then the 80s Dream giveaway ends. And guys, I got to tell you, we might not ever do another 80s Dream giveaway ever. So please get your entries to win. Let's say that you win and you say, Chris, I so would like to drive it, but I don't have a place to keep it. There's a cash alternative too,
That's
right,
right.
PJ?
That's right. And I do want to zoom in on the miles because people
Oh, do it, yeah. Hold on, PJ, hold on. Let me see how I got you some light there?
Yeah. So it's 619 and like a half.
619 and a half.
Or
You
0
see
or
it?
1,
You
yeah.
see it right in there, guys?
It's pretty impressive.
Okay. I love this car.
It does bring you back to your wild 80s days, right, Chris? That door is a heavy door.
It does kind of
That's
bring me back to my
extremely
wild
heavy.
80s days, hanging around the Sunset Strip, getting parking tickets.
Now, Joe says, I think you're spot on. Even Hurst Olds and Indy Pace Cars Camaro 67, 69 were just cars to cruise in and drag race at stoplights.
There you go. You're right. So by the 78, of course, they were collecting these. And this one, 619 miles, like you just saw, original headlights, original decals, original paint.
So it's got everything that you want in an 80s car.
It's a loaded 80s car with 620 miles on it. And so many guys come in here and say, that was my first car. Now, some of you guys are older, and that would not have been your first car. That's cool. But you got to remember them all over the place in the 80s, right?
Right.
And so when it comes down to, 80s giveaways, do we give away something really cool like a Monte Carlo SS, or what's the worst car of the 80s? PJ?
Well, I got to say, I mean, you talking horsepower or are you talking, because honestly, everything was bad, right?
Right. Everything was kind of, we call it the dark ages. So the Pinto was already gone by then, so that can't hit our short list of worst cars of the 80s. Ford Escort, anybody?
When did the Yugo come out?
Yugo? Yeah. VW Rabbit, maybe? I don't know. You guys can arm wrestle over what the worst car of the 80s is, but I'll tell you what the best car of the 80s right now to win in the Dream Giveaway Garage is, and that's this 87 Monte Carlo SS. Please go right now to dreamgiveaway.com, and just like Shannon E. of Texas, who won that Camaro right there by using promo code Facebook Live. And if you're on YouTube, use promo code YouTube. You can win this Monte Carlo or any of the other great prizes that we have here today.
Joe says a Yugo, by the way.
The Yugo.
That's right.
I go? No, you go.
Didn't it have like 3 cylinders?
Yeah, that was a pretty horrible car.
Michael said he had a non-SS 84, would love to win this.
Yeah? Dodge Colt? Ooh, that wasn't a good one either. We can go on and on about bad cars of the 80s, but let's have a positive mental attitude. 87 Monte Carlo SS, 619 miles. Enter to win.
Only, 26 days you said, right?
26 days left in the 80s Dream Giveaway.
Right, so if you're not in yet, you definitely want to get in.
Get in, do it, make it real, get those entries, wait for that magic call like Shannon E. got today, and like the winner today from Wisconsin, Clayton, right? Clayton K?
That's right.
I get that right? Good, okay. 2 great grand prize winners, and they're both going to Indy thanks to Dream Giveaway.
With those 2 IndyCar Camaros right behind you.
I don't think they're taking those cars to Indy. Those cars are going to their homes.
Roger.
The plane will take them to Indy.
Roger said Chevette, shove it.
No, the Chevette was done by the 80s, wasn't it? Here's the 2 horrible Chevy products of the 80s. The Citation. Remember the Citation? Why would you name a car the Citation? Isn't that the one thing that you never want when you're in a car? A Citation.
Well, they call them things jailbreak now, so it's...
There you go. The other horrible one from Chevy would be the Beretta. right? Is that 80s or is that early 90s?
Persistence says Hyundai was the worst cars in the 80s.
They were really, really bad. Hyundai has gotten incredibly better.
Jonathan says, look up a 80s Malibu M80 and find one of those to give away.
Huh, a Malibu M80. I'm not familiar with it. Are we talking a G-body Chevrolet similar to the Monte Carlo, that kind of Malibu?
Persistence wants to know if you get extra tickets if you had a mullet in the 80s. Oh, that's
Yes,
good
you
stuff.
will. Just call PJ and he'll find out a way to get you those
Right,
extra
we
tickets.
need a photo though.
Yeah, we need a photo. All right, guys.
So if you're in here and you're watching like Jonathan, who does use promo code Facebook Live, hope you can't wait to win just like
there you
our
go.
winner today.
All right, guys. Maybe we'll fire up 2 cars tomorrow. Maybe the Monte Carlo and maybe the BMW. That's the next one in.
Yes, we've got the BMW
Okay.
ending.
So we'll fire those 2 up tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. You got something else there, PJ?
That's it.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. More great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes. And I'm so happy that one of the 2 winners of the Indy Camaros watches us on our Facebook Live channel. We'll see you tomorrow in the Dream Giveaway Garage for dreamgiveaway.com, our favorite place